Hello all. In this lecture we will see how to use CSV files. If we want to do some manipulation in CSV files, hope you know what is a CSV file. So I'll show an example of a CSV file. So this is an example for a CSV file. So the first row will contain the header. So column headers will be there. This is name here. So we have name, team, the number, position, age, height, weight, college, salary. So these are the different values in the CSV file, and we have there are around 300 and 400 some rows are there. So if we see that there are 458 values in it, 44, 55 rows are there. So this is a CSV file. So this is a table format. So we know we have seen how to use this data frame and all. So this is a tabular format. So if you want to add something, if you want to insert some rows, if you want to find out some rows, all these things are possible in Pandas. So we will see all this. So for that I'll have to import that CSV file. So for importing, what I have to use is, you have got this. I have already imported. I have used the alias pd. Now read underscore CSV, and you have to specify. So this is a method to read the CSV file. So you have to specify the file name or the path of the file name. Here the file name is nba.csv. So this is the file name. So if the I have brought the file inside this Python folder, so you can see the file name here, csv nba.csv is here itself. So inside the Python folder itself. So if it is somewhere else, you have to specify the complete path here. So even if it is in Drive or in internet or anywhere, from anywhere you can import this file. So you have to specify the uh, whole path here. If you have if you have to import from web or anything, you have to specify the whole path here. But I have imported it here, so you can directly use that nba.csv. So this is how you can read this file. Now you can check this file, you can simply print this and you can see the whole elements in it, but it will trim, it cannot show all. So what it does is, it will just show the first 5 and the last 5 will be shown, and you can see all these things. Now what I will do is, I will use an indexing also. So here we can see that it is default, it takes 0 1 2 3 4. Now I am going to use my own index. So I will index using index column equal to, I'll index using name. So we have a column name called name. So if I import this, I have read. Now you can see that there is no default value. There is, so I have indexed using this column name. So name is the indexing column name. So in this way you can import it. So usually when we manipulate this data and all, we need not go through or print all the data. So in order to see what are the values in it, what we do is, usually we will simply print the head. Maybe if we want to see only the first 5. So for that you can simply use this function data.head. Now you can see only 5 rows will be listed. Okay, and if you want 10 elements to be listed, then you can use head of 10. So you can see that 10 rows. So by default head will give only 5 rows. Similarly, if we want to find out if you want to see the last 5 elements, you can use data.tail. So the last 5 elements will be shown. So these are the last 5 elements, data.tail. And if you want to see the last 10 elements, you can simply specify the parameter also. So you can see the last 10 elements like this. So this is how. So usually we will use this head and tail in order to find out this elements. So if we want to check before manipulating, if we want to check what is content inside the file, we will use this head and tail functions. Now you can index. We have already seen how to index data frames. Similarly, here also CSV files also you can index. So if I want to find out, or I want to find out all the age values, so you can simply provide this index. So data of, so it is age. So this column name is age. So I have to simply specify age. So the whole columns will be displayed. So the whole column with age, and it is indexed using name value. And you can locate or index a particular row. If you want to get the values of a particular row, it is also possible. So we have already seen that loc function. So here also we can use that data.log, and inside this bracket, inside this bracket you have to specify the index. So if I want this value of John Holland, so I have to specify the name inside this. So I have to specify the name inside this. Now you will get the whole row. So this is John Holland, the team is this one, number, position, age, height of all the data. So you can use this loc function, loc. Similarly, you can use, we have already seen this loc in Pandas. Now similarly you can use iloc also. We have already seen iloc also. When you use iloc, you have to specify the exact row value. So if you want to get the fifth row value, you have to use iloc of 4. Then you will get the details of the fourth person. So name is John Herrick, Jerebko, and all the details are shown here. So name is the indexing value. Similarly, if I want to show the 10th row, if I want to find the 10th row, you will get the 10th row. So all the details will be shown. So you can use loc and iloc. Now if I want to copy it to another CSV file, it is also possible. For that you have to use data to. So in order to write to a CSV file, so you have a CSV file and you have to write it to another CSV file. So this is the function you have to use, to CSV, and you have to specify the path also. So here I am writing it to the same path. Then you can use sample.csv. So this is the name. So here there is no sample.csv file here. Now what I am going to do is I am creating this sample.csv. Now if you check this, you can see that there is a sample.csv file is formed now. So sample.csv file is now. So I have simply copied the same file. So you can write a CSV to another CSV file. So I have simply written that file into that file itself. So I have simply named, I have given a simple name. So for with this to underscore CSV, you can write it to a CSV file. Okay. Now if I want to add, I will show some other one more example to write. So you may have to write some data into a CSV file. So first you have to create, before what we have done is we have actually data is actually a CSV file, and we have copied that CSV file to another CSV file. But in some cases you need to create a new CSV file itself, and there is no data at all. So you have to create from scratch. So for that I will show one example. I am giving data 1 equal to, so we have already seen how to create a frame, data frame and all. So we will use the same thing here. I am using name. So I think I have already got this example here. So I will take the same example. We have seen the previous lecture, we have seen some example. I'll just copy that. So we have okay, I'll take this one. I'll take this one. Okay, I think this will be okay. I'll copy this one. I'll use the same data frame here. So I have created a data 1. Now I am going to create a data frame for that. Data for df1 equal to pd dot. So we have already seen how to create a data frame. Okay, so you have to give the name. So this is a data frame. Now you can check this df1. So if you check, you have seen this data frame. So now this is a data frame. Now if you want to create a CSV file from this data frame, it is possible. You can simply, what you have to do is df1 dot, you have to use this function toCSV, to underscore CSV, and you have to give some file name. So it is some employee. So I am giving some file name, employee dot CSV. Okay, now you can check df1. So you can check these values are there. Now if you check here in this folder, that file would have come here. So I have to refresh this thing. So you can see that this employee CSV file is there. Employee CSV file is there with all those values. So employee CSV file is there here. You can see this employee CSV file. You can open it in Excel. If you open in Open Office or Excel, you can see all these values in tabular format. So this way you can create a CSV file from a data frame. So what you have to do is you have to create that data. So you will be creating using, this is actually a dictionary of list. So this is actually a dictionary of list. Then from that dictionary of list, you will be creating a data frame. And from that data frame, what you can do is you can simply use this toCSV and you can simply give this name. Now it is, you have an employee.csv. You can open in Excel and see that file and all. Now in now sometimes you may have to iterate through the rows of the of these rows. For that you can use this thing for, if you want to iterate for using for loop, you can use iterate. So in df1 dot, now we have a function it iterate rows. So iterate rows. So this is a function, so to iterate. Okay, so df1 dot iterate rows. Now we are simply printing I comma j. So you can iterate to the various rows. So you can iterate to the various rows. So if you see this, so this is the first row, name it is Arun, salary it is 30,000, and I will just use a simple print function here so that it will be separated. Okay, now if you check that, you can see that there is a this is the first row and this is the second row. So we are simply iterating through the rows and all the values are printed. All the row and column values are printed. We are simply iterating through the rows. So for that we can use this itr rows. Similarly, if you want to iterate through the columns it is also possible. So columns, so what you have to do is you are first, I'll show the list. I'll make a list of the thing. Now I have made, you can check the columns value. So if you see, it is name and salary. So I have created a list of columns. Now if we want to iterate for I in, sorry, for I in columns, so I have created a list. So it is a list. So I will be iterating to the columns. Now I'll be printing, if I want to print some value from it. So df1 of I, and I want to print the third row. If I want to print the fourth row, I have to give third row 3. Now if I print this, you can see that it is Rahman and 89,000 will be printed. So if I want to get the third row, you have to give I2. You will get the details of the second. So it is possible to iterate through all these values. So you can iterate to the columns also. Okay. So this is how you can create. Now, if you want to add a new row to this thing, so I'll once again. So now we have seen how to iterate to rows and columns. Next, if we want to add a row to the existing CSV file, it is also possible. Now, before that, I'll read the CSV file once more. Read underscore CSV of nba.csv. I'll use this file. Now I'll simply see the head. So this is the head value. Now what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to add a new row. So I want to add a new row to this file. So for that I have to give all the details, new underscore row. So I'm going to add a new row. So I'll have to create a data frame first of the new row, data frame of the new row that is to be added. So inside this I'll be using name. So first column value is name. So key value and a key and the value, it is you can use any name. I'll be using Arun. Okay, Arun. Then second value, it is team. So it is team here, it is team here. Now you have to specify the value for that team. Let it be any team like Boston. And then next you have to use a number. It is there. You can use a number. And it should be some integer value. So I'm simply giving some integer value 3. Next element, it is position. So I have to give position you can give some value for that position. So I'll give PG. Okay, then after that it is age. Sorry, age, a capital. So age you can give any value, 28. Then after that it's height. So it is height. Height, let it be 6. You can give any value, so I'll give 6. Then after that you have to give weight. And you have to give some integer value or floating value. So let it be 125. Then after that you have to specify college. Okay, let it leave it. We'll stop with this thing. There is some error here. So new row data index. So we'll give the whole values, integer weight. Then after that you can have to give college. So college, it is, let it be any college. Then after that you have to give salary. It is salary here. salary, some value you have to give. Then after that, now we have given this values. Now what you have to give is, you have to give the index value also. So if you can see that it is starts from, we have not specified, we have not used any indexing. So we have not specified any index column. So it has taken the default index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have to give an index value also. So I'll give an index value, since there are some 59 rows. I'll give the index value as 461. Let it be 461. Okay. So this row has been added. A row has been added. Now I will check. So this row has not been added. We have created a row here. So new row. You can see this is a new row. So this is a data frame now. So I have created a data frame with all these values. You can know how to create using data frame. So I have created a data frame. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to, so there is an index value also 461. I have given the index value also here. So I have given an index value 461. You can give any index value. So since there are around 460 rows in it, the next index will be 461. So I have given that index value. Now what I am going to do is, I'll concatenate this row with this thing. So I am going to add this row to the original CSV file. So for that, df equal to pd dot concat, and inside this I have to give which all rows. So new underscore row should be concatenated with df. Okay. Now if you check the head itself, you can find out. So this 461 has been added. So it has been added to the Excel sheet. So I have added. So I have appended that thing to the Excel sheet. So this way you can add a row to the existing thing. Okay. So in this way you can add a column to the add a row to the existing thing. Now I will do some other thing here. What I am going to do is, if I am going to add a new row, so here I will use one more method. I will use, I'll copy this thing. So I am going to again read this CSV file. That is the original CSV file without this 461. Okay. So I am going to read that original CSV file. Now if you check this, it is not there. That 461 is not there. So I have original. There are only 458 rows is there. Now what I am going to do is, I am going to add a new row. I will use the same data. So I'll copy this thing. I'll copy it here. Now instead of this 461 index, I'm going to give a 0 index. I'm giving an index as 0. Okay, I've given an index as 0. Now you can check the new row. So you can see that it is 0. Arun Bosan, like that. So the index I have given as 0. Instead of 461, I am giving an index as 0. Now we are going to concatenate this with this. So the problem here is there is already an index with 0. So there is a 0 index value. So you cannot add a duplicate to this thing. So in order to do that thing, what you have to do is, you can use the same concatenation operation. Okay, you can use, I'll copy this thing. So I'm going to concatenate, as in the previous case, I'm going to concatenate with this thing. And additionally, what you have to specify it, you have to reset index. You have to reset the index using this method, and drop equal to, you have to specify drop is false is the default value. You have to specify drop equal to true. So what it does is, so it will get, this row will be added to this thing, and all the other index values will be changed. So since this is 0 and it is inserted to this thing, the other thing, so this will become 1, 2, so on. So I'm going to concatenate this 0 with this. Here I have to reset the index also. So I have to reset this index also. Now if you check this df value, you can see that Arun is now 0 itself. Then Avery Bradley has changed to 1. So index has been reset. So this way you can reset the index values also. So you can use this reset underscore index to add a new row and reset the previous index values. So there are 449 rows into 9 columns. So one more row has been added. So in this way you can add a row to the existing row. So these things will be needed, and you can use various kind of functions using this CSV and all. From this CSV you can plot some bar chart, pie chart. All these things are possible. We have already seen matplotlib, so all those matplotlib functions can be applied here also. You sometimes you may have to find out, you have to plot the bar chart of some values or pie chart of some values, or you need to scatter plot. We have already seen how to scatter points. Then you may have to manipulate all this Excel CSV files if you want to find the average height, average weight, sum of all weights. So all these things you have to do. So you can use all the methods and functions you have studied in the earlier lectures and all. So that's all about Pandas. So thank you.